So, The Last of Us Episode 5 came out early, and I gotta talk about it, because oh my god, this was easily the best episode yet. This episode was amazing, and I mean amazing, like oh my god. So this episode picks up right after the last, where it's the two people just hovering over Joel and has Ellie at gunpoint. Yeah, it picks up right, well, not necessarily after that. In the current point of time, it picks up right after that. But this episode is actually really clever, because it actually shows, basically, the two people's story. Basically, if you haven't guessed it already, these two people are the people the rebels are looking for. Henry and Sam. And it turns out Henry is Sam's brother, which, I mean, you can kind of guess, because he's not that old. But yeah, they're brothers, and Sam is a little kid. He's deaf, which is really interesting and really cool to see. And they communicated through sign language, of course. And yeah, but what the episode does that's really clever, it goes throughout time to show Sam and Henry's story, but not their whole life, just in recent events, to show how they found Joel, how they find Ellie, why Sam has the face paint, and whatnot, and how they've been hiding. So it starts with them hiding in this little bunker with the doctor who got shot last episode. And it was shocking, because I was like, is that the doctor? It can't be, because he just got shot. Turns out it is, and is at a different point in time. And in that point in time, it shows the doctor is helping them, of course, as we knew, and hid them there. And then he gets taken, and that shows their reaction to him. They have to alert each other that he's not coming back. So they have to go, and when they go, they hear a car crash, and they see the events with Joel fighting Brian. And they see Joel, and they instantly say that they have a new plan, because they need to recruit Joel. And that's what they do. They go out looking for him, and they find him. And the reason Sam has the face paint is because he likes to picture himself as a superhero. So Henry's just helping him and painted him in a superhero mask, which is really cute. I like that. Shows the care they have for each other as well. Awesome. But it's actually really cool how they do the time idea, because they don't have to devote a whole episode to Sam and Henry and getting to know them. They just do this quick, 15 minutes to set you up as them, and you continue the story, and it all flows so well. They don't need their own episode. They just pace it out so well, and they work together so well within the episode and the current time plot. It's awesome. And so the whole story of this episode is basically that Sam and Henry team up with Joel and Ellie, and they try to work their way out of the city without being caught by the rebels, who of course don't really like Henry that much. As we know, he's a bit on their bad side. Also, it turns out the reason they don't really like Henry is because Henry basically saved his brother, the leader of the rebels, the woman who has been trying to get Henry. She has a very, very personal vendetta against him. Turns out that the old leader was her brother, and Henry killed him because he had a cure to leukemia, and the only way to get it was to kill him. And Sam had leukemia. The brother of the leader of the rebels now had the cure for it, and the only way to get it was to kill him, so Henry killed him. Now she hates him. Now they're trying to get Henry. That's basically why they hate him, which is, I think, a cool plot. But no, this episode was great. It was so good. I think it's personally the best of the show so far. Even better than episode 2, in my opinion. I think it was great. I think it was really good. And I think it was paced so well. Like, it went so quick, and then you look past and like, oh, it's done, and you look and it went for an hour. It was so shocking. It moved so quick, but it went for so long, and it was just so great, so enjoyable, and I loved it. I also love that when Kathleen dies, it was a child clicker, and it just jumps at her, and it just starts slapping her. It just starts slapping the hell out of her. Eventually it bites her, but it just slaps her for a while. And I hated Kathleen. Of course, that was the point. You're meant to hate her. But yes, she dies. She dies. Good. So does this other guy. I don't even remember his name. But he dies. Hated him too. And oh my god, the thing that killed him, though, the head rip was cool, by the way. The thing that killed him, he was one chunky boy. Oh my god, he was huge. He was massive. That I would hate if I saw that in real life. That was horrifying. I don't know how any of them thought they stood a chance. That was scary as hell. I also thought it was cool that Henry found out and was able to tell that Joel had a kid once. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to see. Pretty cool moment. and I just love the bond that Ellie had with Sam. That was done so well. They became really good friends, and it was funny seeing them read the pun book. That was so funny. It was they handled that bond really well, and they became good friends. And both Henry and Sam were just really enjoyable characters. They were so cool, and they're just so welcoming. They were so friendly, and they were just so easy to love and so well done, so well written, which made it more sadder when the end comes around and we find out Sam was bitten, which I thought one of them was always bitten when they saw him under the car, and he was bitten. And let me just clarify: I haven't played the first game. It's probably you probably could tell, but I haven't played the first game, so this is just new stuff for me. I'm watching through the first game as I go, but I stop when I get to a point that I haven't seen the show yet because I don't want to get spoiled. I want to go through the show first, even though the game came out first. But when Sam turns, that was so sad. So sad. It was cool to see Ellie try to help him with her blood, but it didn't work. And he attacked Ellie in the morning. He asked her to stay up, if she could stay up for him, and it cuts her and she's asleep, which she must feel so bad about. And he attacks her. Joel and Henry both wake up to it. Henry aims the gun at Joel, and the actor for Henry is so good. And this performance here, this part here shows how good he was. Because you can see in his face the conflict and the confusion, and not in that, just in his motions. He's aiming the gun at Joel because he doesn't want to kill Sam, but when he, of course, kills Sam, and you can see in his face, he starts questioning himself what he's done. He's like twitching, and he's flicking back towards Joel and Sam because he doesn't know what he's doing. And of course, that's when I could tell that he was gonna do what he did. And of course, I'm happy they at least got buried. And jeez, it's just so sad, and it gets made so much more sadder when Ellie grabs the board that she's been communicating with Sam with, and she writes, "I'm sorry" on it and puts it on the grave, and she just walks off and says, "Let's go." That was sad. To sum it up, though, this episode was amazing. The change in tone, how it gets you right back in, shows you all this time stuff, and shows you who Henry and Sam are in history with the rebels. Also, how the rebels came over power and took out Frederick. That was at the start. That was a cool sequence. All of that, and then it puts you into this action and this great character interactions. Like, oh, this is a good episode. It's nice fun to have this plan. The plan's working. It's great, and then it has that emotional ending, and also that big battle scene. And it all fits together so well and works so well. The pacing was great. The characters were great. The acting was great. The writing was great. All the characters worked off each other so well. And even though those new characters introduced here, you still grow to love them so much. And it's just so sad when they go at the end. This episode was amazing. The best in the whole season so far. Could be topped, but the best so far, in my opinion. This episode was amazing. I can't wait for the next. Thank you for watching.